Yeah. Number one, good morning. Jekden chikamla, penda dawa tamchiki june, dambe chure, selamna, dembare.
If we say that the source of all benefit and happiness in the world is the sacred Dharma, that would be true. It's true to say that.
Jekden chikamla, nekapta tadu, penda dawa tamchiki june, dambe chure, selamna, dembare. Demba imbek jumchen kharasana, zambiling di, chi, no jikden te, su la la yore, draw me la yore. Draw me sem come to, sem je come to yabo meba yina, sem le ne, sem je ne de kare, sem je ne de kare. Similar nature, but you are a ne to Chatham Mosom. Chatham Mosom didn't derby, tracked out and Jamsom, Lumsum, Harport, Jensim, second take Jensim down Lumsum Niki, Jensim down Lumsum Niki. Chit Nugin Jitante, Nyangul, Nyamshi, Nyamshi Kudu yard. Na juji semchen kin drove lukam tiang ne nasa ngar mebe ne nasa mambo yong yor tinso ganga yongse ki cawan rawatin drua mi sem ki jebar sem tiki chi yungwe kam ganga la nesese tinalo yobe ki drua mi jebe sem yobe tamsi ki semchen soki ludi, no subchambol jar. Tanang la chick, zen dog. Cut out drum and mobile hinge. Patu, Satana, la Indo cover mambochi. Jucha ganga plastic shutter. Ben and a law mambo pejutango. Law mambo, better mambo pejutango. Better to go to plastic mambo on the Uguyor. Saw a benaya tori. Meche panaya tori. Tagasa shanaya tori. Tina sesama lunaya tori. That took mambo to J mambo. Paso kidea, the chirdeva, long church, tap the one that you have the tongue about. 도제기 잘라 망보시다 다르신 찹대요. 소장 펜딩 중내 담배추티 채워매봐. 신중에 카메라 채워매. 채매 가사셔버. 룰을 채워매봐. 영향이 잡았대. 셈 채워매봐. 셈텔에 채워매봐. 삼술 유연은 제대로 시도를 두고. 채는 채sem직. 젠sem직. 젠심 축축으로 등산 아주 괴발래 망와지 것도 속어요. 아주 괴 뉴뉴래. 소야 망보 속어요. 망보 소는 망보 유고요. 근데 망보 촐라당요. 텐델라 때네 제가 바로 또 그도요. 그 세대로 그 닉마 sekretary. Kuba sekretary. Zeki Nyima. Junga dal la lang. Sai chu nyam. Stat. Til dus da yamar. Ngazo khangba dawaje ta chorbo khaje na sama so chor. Zami chiyong tip. Junga ganga dal na han chata. Kangme na chudabati karso pipe dabaji chason chudabaji torson ko jogo pipe de ka chor sama so chor. Men dabaji shorna ya mesak tapche chor. Zambole chiyon junga tamji dal na har chaka. Jungwa Dalang. Jungwa Dalang so, Mamba Langso, or the Shensha Baimba, Thailand and Desert Countries Langso. Jungwa Dalang. Say, Yam, saying at the Shinga. Draw me, Miller took the order. Parazanga Chichil, to say Pejatan. Laboratory. Say, Sanyamba, Kernamba, Menyamba, Tan Menting Yakachamarta. Nanzu say, Net Nasaki, Yamboti men. Men say at the shit and net and draw mel culture. Men and saying it. Say men and secret. Men and nail, let's untarget. Men inayang. Zamble member kepa. Men Jorda check kepa maboki. Men dog children drosso mabo to mabo page. Down. Company chiri chisiki till the tonage, legacy. Lord John and Yishu. The not men Savayor. Woman meant somebody decon men and blood marshal, many yakshuris. Side picked on your mother lover. That dungeon, that tip at this center, that net to Chayons. Gaswa. Tell us of what? Melody in the yard. That's all the pending June temperature. Penciling in word. Pending June, Quincy Jave, Londo September Rinpoche. Pending June, Quincy Jalwe, Londo September Rinpoche. Day. She said, Namneg parto. Namneg parto. Della Tusum comes from China. Naka could do not she was some Mache, Tarbata Tamshi, but top to with a soil. Oh, they turn Calbutcher thing it, that I should shower.
We can say that the source of benefit and happiness in the world, temporary and ultimate benefit and happiness in the world, is the sacred Dharma. And that's true, actually, if we say that. But why? Why is it that we can say that the source of benefit and happiness in the world, both temporarily and ultimately, is the sacred Dharma? Why is that the case? Well, who is it, in whose hands is the world, actually? Who is it that has control over what happens in the world? It's human beings, right? But then what's going on with us human beings? What's happening in our minds? What is our experience? We are ill. We are ill with the afflictive emotions, attachment and aggression and stupidity. We have that kind of illness, that kind of sickness. We are ill with pride and jealousy, competitiveness, and this kind of arrogance that we have. We're very competitive and we have a lot of arrogance. This negative emotions, these afflict us in the world, creates a lot of problems. And we then also do things that harm our bodies, right? Think about what happens in the world. So many negative, like horrible, impure, polluted substances that we put out into the world. And then that makes us sick also, that makes us physically ill. And where does this come from? What is it that creates this circumstance that we have all these polluting substances in the world that make us physically ill? It all comes from the mental poisons that afflict us. That's where it comes from. And we harm each other, and we cause harm in the world with these kind of impure, polluted substances that we are putting out there into the world these days. And, we make it look so nice. So on the outside, it looks so beautiful, so pretty, there's nice colors here and there. But then when you check a little bit more closely, it's all plastic. And plastic is a real problem because it doesn't degenerate. It doesn't break down. If you put it, it's poisonous, basically. You can bury it under the earth, and it's poison. It remains poisonous, buried under the earth. And if you burn it, then that's poisonous. And if you just leave it lying around, then that's poisonous. And if it gets into our food sources, then that's poison for us, actually. So, in fact, there's a lot of these things that we are putting out there into the world, and maybe we do so because for some reason there's some convenience, actually, right? It's convenient for us. But in terms of the long-term effect of that, there's some poison, actually, that's poisonous substances that are being released into and remain in the world. And so we say then that the source of benefit and happiness, the true source of benefit and happiness in the world, is the sacred Dharma. And that's because, again, the sacred Dharma teaches us a path of non-harm, not harming, not creating harm for others. And this is of great benefit for the outer world, for the world that we all live in. To avoid harm physically, to avoid doing anything that is physically harmful for others, but also from the side of our mind, in the mental aspect, keeping this attitude of non-harm is so important, in fact. Because if we have that kind of attitude of not wanting to harm others, then the world, it becomes a very peaceful place, in fact. If we have this positive attitude and if we don't do anything that's harmful to others, then the world becomes a very positive place. On the other hand, if we get caught up in the afflictive emotions, then that brings suffering for all of us. And so it's important that we acknowledge that the source of a lot of the problems, and even in fact the pollution that we find in the world these days, really comes from the mind, from having not having an attitude of non-harm. And these days, if you look around at the situation in the world, we make way more than we need, right? We only need a certain amount of things. It's kind of limited, basic, what our actual needs are. But then in terms of what is produced, we produce so much more than we need, and that means we throw it away. There's so much waste in the world. We produce way more than we need, and then we waste things. And then this creates a situation where the outer world is in a state of real degeneration, actually. We talk about the degenerate times. The world is in a state of degeneration. Outwardly and inwardly, we can say that that's the case. And it is mentioned sometimes that there will come a time when the elements arise as our enemies, right? The great elements appear as or arise as enemies. And look around in the world, that's happening, right? Earth arising as an enemy, water, wind, fire, and so on. And when it happens like that in the world, then what can we do about it? It becomes very difficult to counteract that situation. If your house is dirty, you can clean it, right? You just sweep it up. If you have a problem with one of the elements in your house, let's say a water pipe breaks, right? The pipe is broken, there's water flooding your house. You just fix it, and then it stops, right? Or if there's a fire in your house, you can use some kind of methods to put out the fire. But what if that happens on the larger scale in the world, right? These water arising as an enemy, fire arising as an enemy in the outer world, then it becomes much, much more difficult to counteract, much, much more difficult for us to do something about it. And we can see that that is happening in the world these days. Look around what happened before in Thailand with the tsunami. There's so many instances that we can see in the world in which actually it seems that precisely this situation of the outer elements arising as our enemies is happening. Danger coming from earth, from water, from fire, and so on. And then this issue of pollution and poison, right? These poisonous substances that we're putting out there into the world. We are using these things which are in fact poisonous to ourselves and to our world. Then we end up with food that is poisoned and polluted. Our clothes are poisoned and polluted. Everything, our medicine even. Medicine is really important because medicine is a remedy for illness, right? We need medicine to be pure and perfect. And food also. Without food we will die. So it's really essential that our food is clean and pure, and that's not the case. You know, these days in the world, we find that even things like this, even our food sources, even the medicine that we use, these things have become polluted with these poisonous substances that we're putting out there into the world. And we spend so much money on these things like medicine, right? That's so important. We spend so much money on medicine and think that somehow that's going to be of benefit and it's really good and we trust it. But you know, for a number of years, for many years, I was taking a blood pressure medicine that they said, this is the best one, no side effects, it's really good. And then just last year, oh, no, we recall that medicine. You can't take that anymore. It causes all sorts of horrible diseases. So then I had to stop taking it. So things like this, you know, really, in the world, even medicine, it's filled with these poisonous substances, and we really, there's just a lot of poison out there in the world around us these days. And so when we say then that the source of all benefit and happiness is the Dharma, that's something that's really true. And it sounds, actually, the Tibetan words for this is so beautiful. The source of all benefit and happiness is the teachings, the Dharma of scripture and realization that have been taught by the victorious, omniscient Buddha. It's really beautiful, the Tibetan, when we say a phrase like that, it comes out really lovely, really beautifully. But in fact, this is the source of benefit and happiness. We can say that the source of all benefit and happiness in the world are the precious teachings, the Dharma of scripture and realization that have been taught by the victorious, omniscient, awakened Buddha. And if we learn those teachings, and if we contemplate them, and if we put them into practice, they actually do have the ability to pacify our suffering, both the suffering that we have right now in this moment, and also suffering in the long term. It can be pacified through that. And not only that, not only will it free us from our suffering, but to really, truly practice the Dharma will lead us to liberation and omniscience. So this is something very important, really important point. So I just wanted to begin by mentioning that this morning.
산지 지체라 가지고 장바차고의 중생 노르드나 산지 지체된 장고에 신고에 냠솔랑고에 신도 내가 가르쳐 버려. 테라 그렇 잠벨링디 시대 용야라 알라 시대 중고요 시대 중투밖에 네받을래요. 먼저 칸 잠벨링 시와거래 시대 거래 책임 보지 셰바레 마도 등어서 랑렌 따르고라 랑렌 따르게 소리 등아주 섬부터 랑렌 따르게한테 질 매망래 티나는 매망 그배 뽐보들이 매망 깊게시 뽐보되게 잠링이 시대를 영향 치들 배배차고 가르스는 매망티 잠링 시대라 시대 고요 매망게 찹티 미직을 껴셔버려 직니질 껴셔 되게 매망게 lokatsin 바체라티 미직니게 라발해요 나리는 잘버스거든 잘못스거든 tinsa이는 프레지던트 라소바 민카르타나 티쳐거 티장배 체토가 말해 티수쳐거 되네 반주리 이렇게 메기 텔라 튼조쳐거 반주스가 내봐요 반주르데 매니아래 반주르데 도야래 반주르데 잡저쳐거 티가나 수쳐거 티가나 체리배쳐거 체리배게 추천 잠이라 마포 가려서 쇠베 다다서 마모 발라는 딱 가지고 드라 메틱 테크놀로지가 완전으로 출체가 완전으로 가지고 longa 예수는 출체가 완전으로 가지고 중주도 가지고 누가 충충충도 출차도 누가 체체체로 가지고 왕창 간가 파 출차할 때요. 엄마 출차된 가지고 슬래브리 다 중주도 가지고 드라 밑에서 심센 탐지 출체게 슬랩자가 욕보 용망 엄마 차도 단단히 차 신발이 지나서 냠냠 돈 줘봐 라와메 고슴 테고 온트 두두 진짜 내봐야 아 소소 체리 비클롱도 약보지 거래 체리 비클롱도 체메 시비 비클롱 주여봐 얘는 직진지 감 내가 단도 천천히 해봐도 좀 다르겠지 말이야 꿀롱 그 만당 발에다는 천천히 해봐도 다르 다 천천히 매봐서야 깔아요 갈때 잠리 지용 그 알아서 관계 기태 매봐서야 로직도 들네 매봐서야 땜뵙잖아 매봐서야 그 레체 바이나야 두세 가와 요거래 간데 쳐거래 telling you songs that take on again solo chulupa never chamber lot long time but mainland just come to the chulu tardio chulu diamond over tardio chulupa can make it same come like pemba same come same joe some yitanche sem jo, sem do, sem ki yitanche, tangi yonsama and jonsama, some they were capsule, japsuche, japsuche, you'll the candidate in a jap to soul, some semtility, so Tora Jibuchar. Lute semtil, Tora Jibuchan. Take it up, pingayorda. Sempiment, church sentiment. So, chulu ganga langanzo, one kukurchor. Inaya Yankachi, chulu ki mingatoni, Savachena, then Yankachimore. Take chulu mare. Chulu ki mingti ki laying pasavio. Sonza Dang Sanjik Shudi Shego Jumse, Jir chulu kushap chekur, chulu gangal. Men dam and diore. Men dam and I can end dam mental penguin. Men chick chang by Yakshur Lamni Tigumar. Say some dam and diore. Say some career so kamla church. Jelishimbo in the Tikoral Te Yabore. Injik Minji Kalachi Kona Sagores and then Tigumar. The Rawari. Susu never, Susu Karitan at the year. Inayang, Turab Nishitsachi Kabla. Draw me some something Jurgur. Draw me some something June, church in the summertime, draw me. There's Jangrun Davachin. Jangrun Davachin. Jangrun Dry Jimsen Carrison, Zambil, Colati Church. Checha Yente Jaya, Chachen, Mount Mando. Checha Yente Jaya, like Garden. Large meetings, Satung. Nemarson Zomna and Loboch dear. Satung, Nemarson Zomna, Lundatang, Shenda, Lundatang, Tondata, Shendatang, Charandatong, Getanyambonda She, and Sanjudrave and Susuki, Lumbe Sanjurian Kotomar, Susu, okay, Tessera, Transom Nank needs to test to pass of Getanashi. Nyima that in the sort. Hey, that in the man. That's things that make so much. Make a chop chat. Long I use some chop. To get it checked and not pop to Martha. Chop. It's a Jangor, laughing over. Jack, Twinche, young boy. Take Gala Meganga, something greedy sort of greedy. There's so many. Way to make greedy. If not greedy, they cannot suck money. Need to suck the money, so show the greedy. So we like the greedy. Dungam Gishigata Naralayori. I just simply me same column, Dungam and Dungam sword. Dungam the cat's a pet to act over the Dungar. Dungam came over to drink the middle arm of Dungam. Shame. That did a shame, church and zin. She would tell long I some tilts away. Gobel among this Wabba Mamputun, teacher the Kalem of a job. That is the Yuxata Dorsame, then Don and Zambelinga, Casachu Yola. Then Sorbochakdua. Tendere, Tesson, Tenzolo, Tonancha, Master baby Buddhists will pass. The Buddhist people like to, we Himalayans, so we like tarchok. And what we do, tarchok, jute, tambore, rejangre. Takpati, kubayora, kubati, zatak, karse. Huh? Zatak.
Like a rope made from
grass. Zai is grass.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. Like a string made of grass, some kind of hemp.
Nepal ke or Nepal ke. Ambro te banonson kere masti Zaden kharsi. School. Zaden.
In Nepal?
Kursi kelban. Nepal ke mapasa. Ma ke ko gaans le ke bacha. Huh?
I don't know. Sukul banta. Bala.
Ah. Yeah, honey. Sound the chin much. Basta? Yeah. Teaching my basta and Mokuraga. Zatak sir, Zatalis curse. Meda, Narancho, Tarchok, Tapati Kari, Mama Carisori. Huh? Double tat. I lay Ambro Tarcho Araco, Takpate, Azuboli plastic raxoina. Pele Caraxa. Tele Amele Soma Bons, Soma Port of Hazama. Oh, does the apit say Gueradans? You have sapele Jani Ponic Kamsa. We all need to know one thing, we Buddhists, when we pray, we think we're doing Dharma, we're doing Gyava. So we have print on cloth, a mantra, we call Lunta, Tarcho.
Prayer flags.
Tarcho. Now people have more money, so more Tarchok. More Tarchok quality is good and bad. Actually, pass is better. Pass they printed on
Cotton.
real Cotton
cloth.
Cotton is very good. Now they print on plastic, very bad. Pass we using zatak.
A string that was made of like hemp or some kind of actual material that was natural, basically, that's the point.
Zatak, you all know it. Now you're forgetting. Nepali youth are forgetting. We got brainwash. Culture is dying. Zatak. Natural khase. Natural ray.
Cotton. Natural cloth.
No. Then it lasts quite long and ranching kokora mebacharu ranching.
Yeah. And those things actually just biodegrade. Yeah, they actually biodegrade because they're natural substances. Does that make sense? In the past, that's how prayer flags were done.
Oh. So when I think, I do ripachang ro do I do kandu to samutanda way. Nesu kashela, I do ripachang ro mentu da.
So then when I think about, are we getting smarter or not? And then with certain things, in the world, like this, then I think, no, we're not getting smarter. Precisely the opposite, actually.
So my advice sounds bad, but shouldn't make so many prayer flags. If you want to make prayer flags, the paper, no, the quality is cotton. No plastic. And the string is no plastic string. This is my request. We think we're doing some virtue. Actually, it affects damaging to the earth and air. Some might left on earth, and then earth is damaged. Might be someone think, there's too many plastic, too many prayer flags, we need to burn. That also damaging air. So when we do Dharma, from A to Z, we need to do genuinely and perfectly. So that is an example. Also butter lamps. Many Himalayan students, you like to put butter lamp in your prayer room. That's good, but better is good quality of oil and not much smoke. And very, very important to open window. If you all windows close and put a lot of lamps, of course, Buddha Bodhisattvas, they are luckily just stone or they are statues. So it's not harming them, but definitely it harm yourself. So putting butter lamp also limited. Also, if you want to put butter lamp in open spaces, think well. If there's no any kind of bug, okay. If they're moving so much bugs, and you constantly offering thousands of put a lamp, what effect? Thousands. Our mothers jumping on that. So, when we do Dhamma, we need to be very skillfully and correctly. So today I'm telling here, please give this message, a logical message to others. Some might think, wow, he's talking strange. But if they think 2-3 times, oh, makes sense. We're damaging holy places. So many plastics. Also, this is new thing these days. They print on paper, some mantra is throwing everywhere. That is unnecessary. Yeah. So a Buddhist way of practice is mine, not over there. Here. Here. Everything's here, not there. You shouldn't, if you too much rely over there, not much success. Rely here. Rangi rank going. Rangi rank dying, rangi rank going. Leg the nepa, can't chepa, rangi rank pangwings. The yang chorgo. Sanjay soon Sholokatenso. Temnal Shaya Maring on Chorgo. Jordan Yams Langor. 84,000 Pasha to marry. So it's only Jarare. 84,000 Karidu research Shashama. So Jarare. What a Buddhas and Pashama. So some Jargo. Some Lamsa Lamsa Jargo. Men say the Lamsa Sana, Lamsa Pengre. Men Shashan, not a Tagma. Not Nagado, not men on boy. Men, you doing job, men Shah. Not at all. Can't you think you do? Oh, now I drink tea. Oh, good. Also, I teach you, if you want to have good taste tea, good cup is very important. If you have good cup, tea is so-so, but the good cup's power, tea make much more tasty. If your tea is really good, cup is lousy, tea becomes not so good. That is technique. Then not only tea, then the thermos need to be beautiful thermos. The most beautiful thermos in the earth is this thermos. Oh, yum, 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 yum. Oh, simje gana gewayins.
If you make people happy, then that's virtuous.
So I make everybody happy for a few seconds, so I get a lot of merit. Gewasing kaduin
We can make virtue all the time, right? Anytime.
Okay, now if you want to be good cup, this kind of cup. Okay? And name is this cup and this thermos, both is understated.
Understated.
You know that?
Yeah.
Understated.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Proper English.
Yeah.
Not like colorful, hanging area. Okay.
Why do we need to learn the Buddha Dharma? It's really important, actually. It's absolutely essential that we learn the Buddha Dharma. Because we always talk so much about how in this world we need to have peace, right? We should have peace in the world, and we should have world peace. But it's not enough just to talk about that. We have to do something to make that happen. We have to actually act in a way that will bring about peace in the world. And so we should really think about who has the capacity to act in ways that bring about peace in the world. Who can do that? Who does that? Well, we have to say that in general, basically, the people of the world have to do something to bring about a state of peace in the world. But not just the people in general, also the leaders who we place as our heads, people who we place in positions of leadership. It's also their responsibility to put forth effort to bring about a situation of peace in the world. And this is what we need in the world. We, as the people of the world, need a peaceful world. We need a situation of peace. And in our place, in places of leadership, we place people, we put leaders in places of leadership who can make the decisions that we hope will actually bring about that peaceful situation for us in the world. And in the past, that was kings, right? We had kings and queens in that position. But then these days we have presidents, whatever you want to call it. They have different names. But anyway, people who are in those kind of positions of leadership. And it is their responsibility, actually, to take the steps that bring the world into a peaceful situation. But it's not only them who have that responsibility. There are others as well. People who have wealth, actually, have some specific responsibility to contribute towards bringing about a positive and peaceful situation in the world. Wealth has power, People who have wealth, there is some power behind that. And wealth can be used as poison, and wealth can be used as medicine. It can do both things. And so people who have that kind of wealth do have a responsibility to use it in a positive way. And in addition to them, who else has responsibility for improving the world and bringing it into a state of peace? Scientists, people who are creating the technology that we use in the world. It's their responsibility as well. In the past, they have produced all sorts of technologies. That's happening currently in the present, and it will continue to happen in the future. And the thing about technology is that once those technological advances have been made, once those technologies have been made available, we really, just the people of the world, really follow after them, don't we? Physically, verbally, and mentally, we get so caught up in these kind of technologies that have been made available. And it's almost like actually our own power is decreasing and technology is becoming more and more powerful. That will continue to happen in the future. And if you look around right now, you can see that that's happening. You know that through your own experience, right? You really kind of get sucked into using these kind of technologies. And we kind of lose our independence, in fact, to these technological things that are now available, these technologies that are available. At first it was that they kind of were our servants and our slaves, these technologies. But now the tables are turning, and we are becoming slaves to our own technology. That's happening, and it will continue to happen in the world. So the technologies themselves, because they have become so powerful, these technological advances, it's also extremely important that the people who are creating technologies have a good motivation. scientists and people who are advancing technology, it's essential that they have a good motivation. And if they all had the motivation of non-harm and creating a peaceful circumstance in the world, then we wouldn't end up with these really detrimental technologies. We wouldn't end up with these poisonous substances all over the world that are being created by these people. But it is because of the lack of pure motivation, actually, by those who are creating the technological advances in the world. And so it's very, very important that they do have a positive motivation and intention, because otherwise now we've ended up in the world with all of these things that are created, poisonous things, Like we use all sorts of electronic things these days, and they need batteries, and the batteries actually, they're poisonous, right? Batteries are poisonous. The substances in there is poisonous. And so then we end up with all of these poisonous substances in the world, and even if everybody in the world somehow managed to get together and decide, okay, we don't want these things anymore, we have to do something about it, we still don't have any way to get rid of them, right? Once they're made, once they're there, disposing of these things becomes very, very difficult. So it's very important, actually, to have a proper motivation. And so the people who are producing technology really do have a very serious responsibility. But again, it's not just them who have the responsibility. People who are religious, who follow Dharma, who follow some kind of religion, it is also our responsibility. Religions have been present in the world for thousands and thousands of years, and they spread throughout the world, many different religions, and actually they help people. Religions are beneficial and helpful for people in a general way, we can say. Because when we feel sad, when we feel like we are just exhausted mentally and we are very upset, then people who are religious make some kind of prayer or supplication. Now, what the object is depends on what religion they follow. But the point is, when we feel that kind of state of mental exhaustion and sadness and pain, somebody who is a religious person has something to pray to, a place to look for solace, and that brings benefit. It makes us feel better, actually, if we have something that we can place our trust in. So it is of great benefit for people to follow religion, because it gives us some sense of refuge, some sense of hope when we feel dejected, when we feel sad. And so we can say that religion in general is a medicine, actually. It heals our minds. And that's why we, as Buddhist practitioners, should respect religion generally, not just the Buddha Dharma, but all religions. It's important that we respect them because they help people. But then we also have to acknowledge that if, in the name of so-called religion, people do actions which are very negative and very harmful, that's very bad, much worse, actually, in the name of religion to do something non-virtuous. It's very terrible if people do that, and sometimes they do. So in general, as Buddhist practitioners, it is important that we respect religions, all religions, because they help and benefit people. It's also important that we acknowledge that there are different religions and that different religions will help different people, right? It's not that we all have to follow the same religion, because we have different inclinations, we have different interests, and something might be beneficial. One religion might be beneficial for one person and another for another person. Same with food, right? We don't all have the same sense of taste. We don't all find exactly the same thing delicious, and that's fine. There's different foods. We can eat what is tasty for us. Likewise with religious traditions. Some people are inclined towards a particular tradition, and that's good for them because it clicks with them, and then they're able to be benefited by it. But we have to say that these days in the modern world, in the 21st century, there is some kind of difference in the way people's minds work than people of the past. There's some kind of change that's come about. And on the one side, we can say we're maybe getting smarter because we have more access to education and we're learning more different types of things, and people have more opportunity to learn and are more actually inspired to really learn and find out about more things, to become smarter and smarter. In the past, the way people lived was very different than that. You know, if they just had enough to eat, some food, some drink, would get together in a community, maybe sing some songs together, maybe do some dances. If you wanted to talk with other people, you can, just sit in the sun and talk about like the village gossip, just what's going on around, like these people doing this, these people doing that. And people felt really happy, with this kind of just like sitting and singing and dancing and eating, drinking, having a little alcohol, drinking a little together, having a nice meal, talking about what's going on with their friends, their community. These days it's really not like that so much anymore, is it? There's so much going on. Always this is happening and that is happening, and we're so busy and we have to find out about this and we have to know about that, and our body, our speech, and our mind are always busy with this activity and that activity. It's almost like we don't even have a single moment to just rest. It's become like that in the world. And so we get so caught up in like needing to know this and needing to know that, and we become so greedy, actually, always wanting this and wanting that. And the people who are producing things encourage our greed. They want us to want things, so they make more things, and then we pursue those things, and then we get those things, and then we have so many of them, then we don't have any place, and we need new ones, so we have to get rid of the other ones, and there's nowhere to throw it away. And we just end up in that kind of situation with so much waste in the world. So busy chasing after things, working so hard to get things. Then we have too many, then we need to get rid, and then what do we do with them? And then the world becomes a really dirty, polluted place. That's what's happening in the modern world, we have to say. And so it's important then Rinpoche talked a little bit in English, about using natural substances for prayer flags and not creating more pollution and so on. And it's in fact the case that we are our own protectors, actually. The Buddha said, you are your own protector and you are your own enemy. You are also your own witness as to whether you have done good or done bad. You know yourself. So this is what the Buddha has said. These are the words of the Buddha. You are your own protector, you are your own enemy. Whether you have done good or bad, you are your own witness. And when the Buddha says something like that, we're not meant to just listen and then set it aside. You should keep in mind what the Buddha said and recite again and again the words of the Buddha. And don't just recite them, but actually apply them, practice them, put them into your own experience. The words of the Buddha are not supposed to be something that we just kind of leave on the shelf, right? We talk about these 84,000 teachings of the Dharma, the collected words of the Buddha. You're not supposed to just leave those books on the shelf. The teachings of the Buddha are supposed to be applied. We have to apply those directly into our own experience. We have to practice. Medicine, you have to take medicine, right? You're sick. Okay, I'm so sick, and then I have this nice medicine and that nice medicine. You can just sit in a room full of medicine and then be sick, and you're going to still be sick, right? Just sitting in a room full of medicine isn't going to heal you if you're ill. You have to take the medicine. And like that with the Buddha's words, just sitting, arranging the Kangyur over here and the Tengyur over here and sitting in a room full of the Buddha's words, it doesn't do anything. You have to actually apply them. You have to practice them. You have to take it to heart.
Thank you. We human, what really need? What we need? What do we success in our life? Kind heart, intelligent mind. If we have kind heart, we will not do any harmful things. If we have intelligent mind, we will not brum.
We won't be confused, deluded.
Lack of kindness, we're hurting, harming each other. Lack of kindness, we're harming whole planet. If kind heart, rich kind heart, that will serve, and you can use also save the world. Serve, save, the best contribution. Best contribution to self, best contribution to others. if we want to be bright future, two things are undeniable. Kind heart and intelligent mind. If we think we're intelligent go two sides. Harmful intelligence, helpful intelligence. Harmful intelligence is extremely dangerous. Unknowing effect, but still intelligent is very harmful. Some scientists, they don't want to harm. Einstein not want to make awful things. But you don't know what result comes. The result is when result there, out of hand. So that is, we studying Dharma. What reasons? Number one, respect to other religion. Each religion's advice or teaching is helpful. Say, help to other. Don't hurt to other. Be patient. Gift, serve, help. How nice, how helpful. These are religion's way of explaining. But 21st century time change, world system change, outer system change, inner living style change, mental way of emotion is change very fast. This change, we don't know what kind of effect coming, we don't know, very fast. And we will say, civilize. All dirt are hidden, covered by plastic, saying civilize. Toilet so good, quick flush, gone. Civilize, septic tank, terrible. Much worse than before. So many things, garbage putting in septic tank. Before not that much. So many shampoos, so many chemicals. When I look my room, I feel sad sometimes. But I have pure shoe. I'm very happy. I take care of shoe. I like shoe. Nice shoe, socks. Early time, my socks also has what called?
Holes.
What?
Holes in the
Holes.
of them.
So my mom saw. She says, "Oh, so this." I also okay. And she also saw her when she cut her, and she asked someone. One day I saw she is sewing. I said, "Mom, why are you sewing?" So easy. Why not? She's sewing her inside. Very content, very happy. Now I have many shoes. I don't know what to do. Of course, I shop 1-2 times, but most of not. 1-2 times I shop, I failed. In Denmark, they says, "Robert, you want to go to Aarhus shopping area?" I says, "Yes." Oh, mess is there. I says, "I'd like to buy something, what better?" "Oh, we have very good TV screen." TV?
Screen.
I says, "That's too difficult to check." Even I wonder how string taking from Denmark to Nepal. He said, "Oh, it's strange." Then he says, "There's phone." Delicate. I said, "No, not delicate. Very high note. I don't know. One word. No, I forgot. Then he says, "There's shoe." I already got one shoe before someone gave me echo. So I said, I want to go to look shoe shopping. So we're in shoe shopping area. So I looking. One man says, sorry. I says, what? He's a little smiling. I thought, what kind of smile? In West, people not smile easy. This smile has some reason. Because I'm smart enough. So I pick up his smart is not genuine smart. Smiling. What? He says, sorry, you need to go to children's shoe area. Oh. So I went to, he's right. My feet only fit children's size. So I bought children's shoe.
Me too, Rinpoche.
Oh, that time maybe I'm already maybe over 50 years old man, young man. By really children's shoe. Okay, so this then people this rumor going here there, rumors like shoe. So many shoes now. I feel sad and I want to give to monk. I give monk and some shoe, of course not fitting. The older monks, they put on shine place. It's so difficult now. Then I think, oh, now I know what's going on in the world. You know. I'm not joking, I have many shoes. Many shoes. And also in my face room, so many creams. Sometimes I confuse. I put this one face. I'm not joking because different language. Different language. People giving. I put this something. So that why I say this is each of us, we need to don't go to have more than what we need, because it's damaging. So many shampoo, different shampoo, plastic, so many plastic makeups. Use half and throw. It's all damaging, yeah. And teaching of, 21, the point, I would like to bring the point, whole talking, the main point. Just now I did a short interview with 84,000 up there. So what I said there, I like to repeat it here a little bit. 21st century time, human's mind is become more smart or more skeptical. You say smart, but actually skeptical. So, believing for religion, any religion system, is very weak. It's almost like tradition. Okay, my grandfather, my mother wanted me to go. Okay, go. Okay, Buddha, Allah, okay. Not bottom heart. Because I want to make happy my father, or society. Society will think funny if I not do this. From bottom heart, one point in trust, it's very shaky. Why shaky? In the world, so many comparing. Why shaky? Scientific way of explain is sometimes it's not really matched with religion belief. So religion is symptom,
Emotion.
Religion belief are based on symptom, scientific based on ocho. Over now. Kari imbateres. Kari skere pebet the over symptom to ocho.
Spiritual.
Symptom.
Spiritual versus.
Symptom nawa, ocho nawa.
So something related spiritual versus like materialistic, yeah.
Chulupa ganga symptom. Symptom chat. Chulupa inches is symptom. Cereba inches ocho. Ocho nawa, dang sim. Example little de chena. Chulupa to chulupa maimba need the de nil chena. Chulupa yina symptom in bechap. Cereba yina ocho in bechap.
So if we divide, right, like the religious people are in like the spiritual category, and then scientific people are in the materialistic category, just like that. Yeah, we can just sort of separate them and say it's people fall into one of those two categories.
Still, I don't know if you say spiritual.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
Spiritual is not good.
Okay.
What it means, I'm not saying not good. What means in Western? Spiritual means what? Is there one meaning or many meaning or
many
what?
Meanings. Many meanings.
There's many professors, many intelligent people are here. Please teach me.
You mean superstition?
No la, that's wrong. Wrong. If you say spiritual belief is a superstition, that is the worst criticizing. But people believe religion is a superstition. People think spiritual is not based on superstition. Spiritual is very intelligent. What it means, foggy. In my mind, what is spiritual? Foggy, not clear. Hold hand each other. Oh Lord, okay. You feel it, I feel it. Oh, that is we are one body, one mind, one heart. We are one. Oh, this is spiritual. In my mind, till now, I try to learn about spiritual. Year after year, I only found out what means spiritual is only that, cozy. Cozy, protected, safe. We are here. We only listen, feel, full of energy. That's it. The final is, that's it. Yes. Finished. I learned spiritual like that. Most of I learned from California. Okay.
I looked in the dictionary. I looked in the dictionary, and for it says symptom. It says idealistic. I'm not sure if that's better, but that's what it says in the dictionary.
In Sanskrit, you also try to find out in Sanskrit, in Tibet, symptom nawas.
Yeah.
Symptom nawa, what's nawas? They culture but. Okay. So now, Dharma. What is the quality of a Dharma? Dharma will save. Dharma is a saver. Save from what? This is emergency case. Worse than nuclear bomb, atom bomb, chemical bomb, whatever. Worse than that. Humans are become more and more skeptical and going to nihilism. Draw me. nilisen job to kenti job to ken chök job to 그래서 chök 간데 job 그래서 다 chöl래야 니어 대배 전당당 릭비 전당 암 샤랍 전당 다 릭비 전당서는 돼 대배 전당 생한테 대 제바로럽 제바리 제바 제거리 제바로럽 제 레준데요 생아지요 녀송요 다 토르요 달바요 디레질이 대점을 이체나 오 이체도 뺨마스베 이체 뎀바 디 이체도 편도요베 이체 좀 보지 될 때네 레 메가와트 같이 투둑 빵그래 레 개와트 같이 투둑 레 상부터 시그래 제부터 메당 사다 라마인 르된 땡땡 시그래 준데 로아 메바래 티리페 둡투 그래 이나야 테타베 그 거야 나르케 나라서 남바산시베 쯔치베 줄로 망치에 대비 sem소리 나와래 그런 코너 대바지요래 대바지게 람전 주요래 람전 되게 렉 베차트 망스 냠선랑 enge 베차트 같이 투투 빵거야 딘들 때네 중주르게 중주르다 제발라고로 산지베게 제와티 루젠트 야블레 그래 다 들어 니시 짜지 값을라 라 제바티 지쳐바지 쳐고라 맞아 럽럽 지쳐바치비 이치고 말해 제바쳐고라 제바체네 덴솔 와서 덴솔 덴바솔케 인주 사제바지 덴솔 말하다 덴바솔케 덴바솔케 덴솔을 대선사 다 드럼 예수 사지베게 좋아 메티 체달라 로야는 냥가 삼지메 저거 민 버치쇼티 차탈 체테 제선 당도 그래 당시기리 틸레 쩌바텔라 리베 제랑스 다 리베 제랑스는 간데레스 똥이 리베 득토가 다 약쇼칠 산제베기 추기 자와 닝다부 똥바니 살다 너르수드나 최탐지 똥바니레스 똥바니 대비 득토 말 소와 땀는 룹트고 말해. 대배 룹트고 말해. 똥반이 릭배 두고 그래. 녀야한테 쏘사 그래요. 무슨 녀와라 쏘사 됩지만 용토가 말해. 얘도 릭배 고와 생겨라. 고한테 릭배 코트 그래. 똥이 릭배 람네. 고라이 있었다. 다 먼저 드라마를 릭바요. 먼저 드라마에 릭바 되게 최탐지 똥이 인발라 릭베 잡아 전에 째도요. 대선전 로아 미그 루텐데 약보레스 라가죠. 준로케 돈돌라 릭바요. 심제 강가라 릭바요. 심된 강가라 릭바요 마치 대신이 뭐요. 이나요. 심된 속에 릭베 잡아 째네 똥이 두고 말. 최탐지 똥반이 인발에 인베인 술때 먼저 로아 미 장배 걔들 릭베티기 째도요. 대선사 똥이 릭베 짱네 줍라이 티아 섬샤이 신도 똑까 준제 사모 된 신도 똑까 준제 사모 준제 남샤 라브랍 땡아 뺄래라바 하고래 십사보 하고 말 십사보 나바 탐지심비 예시마도 사토케 잔주 사바초케 하고 말 냐랑 그 저가 가와고 사토베 사주발레네 장주선바 남지장 준제기 남시 십장 차와 자와 변도 니기 자와 자탕 오면 자탕 오는 류된 간디지 받아 중줄 로 밀어 중줄 가르쳐 중줄 그 류된 간디지 와 자타 마보트 나바 탐지 침배 기식 마트 침메다 바래 텐데 송상 마치 동다 찍라야 유이예와 타데 바 텐션 반 군신 때 Kunshin yishi member men so. Chap mapjal dollar rima mangbudwa. Mapja. Chap mapjal. Mapja dondang chilayo. Ti ju kanzan chuari. Tirere shundu salshi mande bayang taba chenken sanja madamajal. Machi dongta chilayo ju yawa tadepa. Tadepa te. Te kanga chundu kunshin yishi member men. Tatinde mention big Jumangbo, the Pechik Shabar. There's also Tan Dordon, Tony repeat Lam the Dupto, Chanazanga, Popache, Papa. Sanju Chuk, Zawat, Tony, Candy Sahako, Tebet Auto. Repeat Auto. Repeat Dog with the Jangorta. Tom Majambal Tapsa. Karab Nishu Sachi, but the Ganzu repeat Generale. She had a machine that Chanazanga, the Lochunchu, something. Charancho Papa Ama Bob Mok Teba Chesul Yomarta. Shena Masha. Control Tawan the Teba Chetricha, the children there, something. My grandmother is a little naive. She's so devoted. This is just stone. A stone statue. Why should so much? Aha, hee. But if you study, they urgently need to study Dharma. In the world, there's so many educations. Educations are helpful to success this life. More money, more fame, more fun, more luxury life if you have different education. Lawyer, science, politics, management. Mathematics, expert of mathematics. That's all. No more. Studying Dharma. Very bright future. Help ever, anytime help. Especially worse occasion time. Very old sickness, uncurable disease. When death. Yesterday I on my phone. One Chinese monk passed away. Sifu, so nice. In my eye came tears. So beautiful samadhi. You guys look. Okay. I think I not say much yet. I think tomorrow I need to change my motivation. Meditation time, meditate. Okay, quick.
Okay. In the world, a lot of people in the modern day are nihilistic. They have a very strong propensity towards nihilism, and that's a great danger. And what is it that can protect us from nihilism? Well, the Dharma can protect from nihilism, religion. But there's two ways of approaching the Dharma. One is through the path of faith, and one is through the path of reason or intelligence, reason. And using the path of faith, those who are followers of faith, of course there is some kind of investigation and examination, but it's very rough. And based on just sort of rough examination, people who have a faith-based perspective, they trust in karmic cause and effect, for example. They believe there is karmic cause and effect. They believe in past and future lives. They believe that there are higher realms and lower realms, and that it is possible to attain liberation. They have that kind of faith, that kind of trust. And it's really good, actually. It's true, it's correct, and it helps them. It's beneficial to them. And the reason why it helps is because when they have that kind of faith, they avoid negative deeds as much as they can. And they engage in positive deeds as much as they can. And so they then, for sure, achieve the results of being born in the higher realms as humans, as gods, as demigods. And the reason why that happens is because karmic causality, cause and effect, is unfailing. it works. And so through those positive actions, they take positive rebirths. And this is something actually that we could even prove through logic and reasoning. In the past, most people tended to have this approach of following religion based on faith. And that faith brought them onto the path and brought them in a positive direction. It encouraged them and caused them to do good things and to avoid negative things. And that brought about a positive circumstance for their future, right? In the Buddhist tradition, the future, we would say future lives. But in general, doing good things brings about a positive future, we can say. But these days, in the 21st century, people tend to, if they want to examine something and investigate, just a brief examination, just a quick examination, like those who are motivated by faith, like what is sufficient for them, that doesn't cut it for most people in the modern day. If they examine, they have to get down to the real details and fully and completely, totally get into the examination and come to the final point, because if not, they don't trust it. They won't believe if it's just kind of a rough examination. They need all the details. And so they're really searching for the truth. And actually that fits with Buddha Dharma, because in fact we precisely are those who search for the truth, strive for the truth. But in the 21st century, for whatever reason, it is the case that a lot of people do tend to fall into nihilistic perspectives, and it's very dangerous. You could say maybe most of the people in the world have a nihilistic perspective or are tending towards that. The future seems to indicate that will be the case, or it seems to be the case that will be the situation even more so in the future. So because that's such a dangerous situation, we have to think about what is it that can protect people from that kind of nihilistic perspective. And in that case, the answer then is following reason, not necessarily faith, but reason, following reason. And one really great thing that we should all be very happy about is that you can establish emptiness through reasoning, actually. You can. And that's really good, because that's the real root of the Buddha Dharma, to come to acknowledge the fact that everything is emptiness. You can't prove it with faith, you can't prove it by praying, but you can prove it actually with reasoning, with logic and reasoning. Now, if you want to experience it, you have to gather the accumulations and purify your obscurations to have a direct experience of emptiness. You can't do that without gaining merit and so on. But to have a conceptual understanding of emptiness, it is possible to prove that through reasoning, through logic and reasoning. It is said that the emptiness is easy to prove through reasoning, to establish through reasoning. It's easy to establish emptiness through reasoning. And we have reasoning, we have intelligence. That's something that's very fortunate. All of us have that, actually, as human beings. The fact is that all phenomena are empty, and it's possible to prove that through reasoning, and we as humans have the capacity to reason. So this is a very good situation, actually. And in particular, humans have a very special capacity to reason. We have a very special intelligence and sharpness. Animals also have the capacity to understand, to know. All sentient beings, of course, have Buddha nature, but it is humans, we have this unique capacity, this intelligence, this unique capacity to reason that allows us to establish the fact of emptiness in a way that animals, for example, other animals don't have the capacity to do that. They just don't have that kind of capacity. They don't have that kind of logic or reasoning, the ability to use logic and reasoning in that way. So humans have this unique capacity to use logic and reasoning, and we can use this to establish the emptiness of all phenomena. So again, it is said, it is easy to come to understand emptiness through the path of reasoning. This is really important. Write this down. It is easy to understand emptiness through reasoning. What is extremely difficult to realize is the details of karmic cause and effect. That's extremely difficult to realize. And so cause and effect, the details, okay, to get just a general idea about causality, yes, we can do that. But the real details of this, only the Buddha knows. Only the Buddha, the omniscient Buddha, is the only one who knows. The Shravakas, Pratyeka Buddhas, they don't know the details of karmic cause and effect. A bodhisattva does not know. Even a 10th Bhumi bodhisattva on the highest level does not understand the full details of karmic causality. Like, what body did I have hundreds and hundreds of lifetimes ago, and what body will I take hundreds and hundreds of lifetimes from now. That kind of detailed knowledge of karmic cause and effect and of causes and their results. Only the omniscient Buddha has that genuinely. And so then it is said actually, like there's a statement, a single design on the feathers of a peacock. What are all of the causes and conditions that came together to make that single design on the feathers of a peacock? Only an omniscient Buddha is able to know all of the causes and conditions that came together to know that, right? So this is how it is explained. So in terms of the details of karmic causality, only the omniscient Buddha knows. But when it comes to emptiness actually we can establish through reasoning. So you should feel really good about that. You should feel confident, yeah? All of you should feel confident. Hey, we can establish emptiness through reasoning. This is really wonderful, actually. But in order to do that, in order to establish and have confidence in the fact of emptiness through reasoning, you have to learn. You have to study. You can't do it without learning and without studying. And these days, in the modern world, in the 21st century, people are followers of reason, followers of logic. That is just how people are, modern people. Those of you who are young, maybe your grandparents have a lot of faith and devotion in religion, and even if you wanted to, many of you just can't. You see your grandmother making some kind of prayer and you think, oh, she's so naive, it's just a statue, right? You need some kind of reasoning. And Rinpoche spoke a little bit in English then about how important it is for that reason for us to study the Buddha Dharma.
Sanjiki Chokyi tsawe tsawate samu tongpanyi senti bare la shecha senti shecha rikpe ne mabu jayor te shechi shi namsha yakbochi shengosana tongni tenchunki nesu di shengore tongni tenchunki nesu di shena shecha chi namsha di shentu bare ngazo shecha jangking roa midi shecha jangking shecha la gabore 직체. 되네 대가라 람드빈 남샥 시도 딱 개착하자. 다와 고바 조바 드부 생한테서 람드빈 남샥. 드부터 빈 남샥. 다트도 되네 것이 냠내체 개찰레바라 마도 시시자 땐레 페버체발라. 되네 돈이 땡중 생한테 시행거를 돈이 땡중디 릭베 람네시. 드부터거를 대베 람네 말 릭베들람. Rikpa. Tena chita rikpa shisi tepe rikpa, chawa chepe rikpa. Ta dorna rikpa shili teo goya ta. Te shintu umeki rikpa ngase, chik turalki rikpa. Tene nyome chen koko rikpa, dorji sengme rikpa. Ta lakbar tu ko deshun rawa chik tural tang tenriki rikpa. Rikpa ki toni chetam 동니 땡중도 땡을 합도 그래. 텐들 땡네 가산 휴바 나심. 로변천복 루줍지 땡진 장중 많이 봐 청가요 뭐 많이 넣어. 대체 동이 많이 봐 청가요 많이 넣어. 동이 대신사는 산지슈기 짜와도 거자. 대 거자나 대바야 용거리, 냉제야 용거리, 먹어야 용거리, 냉중야 용거리. 딱 강가라시 용거리. nendrapa tsawandrapa te mashenda tene kanga yami yamachi yola melachi tende la tegre te sonza ten kalpo chala nenden tawa tawe na toni tenjung ka tawa tere te tanjang azu gom jap sengan te so ya tawa tawa chikdu gom tawe tösam gomsum chete tawa toni samate 원숨데 냠소 녀야 쳐들어 도서 검수죠. 차도 쳐봐. 추침선 쳐봐 그 점바단 담면 뭐 지가. 그래서 강가 삼모 동반이 저 타참셔도 저 내로 똑배 칠도 인바래라. 인바 인도 그 대응 뭐만 될라. 땡아죠. 동당체고도.
The real root of the Buddha Dharma is profound emptiness. And there are many, many different things that we could come to learn about. But if we really want to understand have a general understanding of the way things are, then if we know emptiness and dependent origination, then we really have a general understanding of the way things are, actually. And we need to learn, right? We need to learn what there is to know. People like to learn what there is to know. And if we want to have a general understanding of things, then understanding emptiness and dependent origination is precisely what brings us to that knowledge. Now, when it gets to a presentation of the path and training on the path, then we have the view, the meditation, the conduct, the results, all of those kind of details. And when it comes to the presentation of how to attain the result, then we get into the details of how to practice the Dharma, right? But if we just want a general understanding of how things are, a general presentation of the way things are, we come to that through understanding emptiness and dependent origination. And these are things that we can establish through logic and reasoning. And so, again, there are many different kinds of arguments that can be used, right? The argument of one thing depending on another, the arguments of that established the way that causality works and the way things function, or the 5 great reasonings of the middle way. We talk about the reasoning of neither one nor many, the refutation of origination from an existent and a non-existent thing, the Vajra splinter reasoning, especially the reasoning of dependent origination, or the reasoning of one thing depending upon the other. These are very helpful and beneficial for us to come to understand the way things are. And just like I mentioned yesterday, the great master Nagarjuna said that there is no phenomena which is not dependently originated, and therefore there is no phenomenon which is not empty. And we need to understand emptiness, actually, because that's the real root of the Buddha Dharma. And if we really get that, if we really have a genuine understanding of emptiness, then very naturally, on the basis of that, faith will arise, and compassion will come, and love will come, and renunciation. So it's really, emptiness is like the key point here. And if we get that, then everything else will kind of come out of that. But if we miss the key point, then everything else is just kind of sort of half done, not really just kind of sort of like this, sort of like that, but we're missing kind of the foundation, the key point here. So the key point, the foundation, the most important thing here is the view. And the view is emptiness and dependent origination. And so when we talk about meditation, we have to do meditation. The point of meditation always is that we want to come to realize the view. That's why we meditate. That's the point, is to come to realize the view. That's why we practice generosity. That's why we study, we reflect, we meditate. All of this, the whole point of all of our Dharma practice is to come to realize the view. And so that's why we do all of this. And what we need then to achieve through all of our practice is precisely that, coming to genuinely realize the view of the natural state. This is very, very important. It's the key point.
Sorry, one, 2 words is important. We Buddhist followers, there's around scientific kuyangcha,
We're like a little bit too loose, too open.
Too loose. In Nepali, kebanza. Too loose, kebanza. Huh? Nepali sabdama. Too loose, kebanza. Nepali sabdama. Too loose. In Buddhist, we are a little bit too open, or how to better.
That's fine, Rinpoche, too open.
Too open.
Yeah.
Study okay, not study okay. Yeah. Practice okay, not practice okay. Yeah. If you use Buddha name, Buddha bar okay, Buddha air okay. Think every day Buddha, Buddha, Buddha air, Buddha's name, toilet paper, put in garbage, Buddha, Buddha. How awful, how sad. In Tibet, even we pass, now it's changing, yeah? Sad, pass. And if we see one letter, na means sick, shi means death. The worst letter, na, they're not throw. They put. Shi, they put. I saw my eye. The monks, nuns, the lay people, oh, japsuche.
Say, oh, I take refuge, actually. That kind of showing that kind of respect to a single letter.
Japsuche.
Oh, this is so precious. This is so precious.
Because it's teaching through that na teaching, sick teaching, death teaching, is using in Dharma terminology. How much respect? Now, so since I am sort of Nyima teacher, I have responsibility to tell to whoever come to see me. I must tell, study, practice. More than practice, first study well. If you not study well, you don't know how to practice well. If you don't know how to practice well, we will not gain any kind of what we need to gain. So this is important. So that is, I'm saying, we Buddhists, the teaching is so rich, but who really study? Not that many. Who really practice? Very little. So that is, we all need to be really encourage each other how important to study. How important. It's worldwide, we can contribute through our the Shunyata knowledge, Shunyata. Often when we do puja, Om Shunyata, Om Sabhava Shuddha Sarva Dharma Sabhava Shuddha, sounds like just mantra. Then when we talk, like half serious, half joke.
Oh, all things are emptiness, right? All things are empty.
So really need to study. And luckily we have Buddha nature. If we put at least few months, you will understand at least intellectually about emptiness. The most profound education in the earth, most profound, most highest, most ever helpful knowledge of wisdom is Shunyata. So please, all of you put effort. We always just hanging to a branch. Some puja, some dung, hing, ha. Essence lost. Deity, wrathful deity, peaceful deity, Shunyata. From Shunyata. So savor. Huh? What?
Maybe you could speak English for a minute. I'll come right back, yeah?
Maybe we all break.
No.
Yeah.
Please speak English.
Come back.
I'll be right back.
Short practice, sorry. I do often like that. I talk. My translator is so far. Tomorrow I will not say, we'll meditate. Today short meditation, tomorrow long meditation. Sometimes when I see all of you, I'm very excited. So I have no control of my mouth.
Dage Dewa dan deve jodan dembara jujim Dungai dan dungai jen jodan drawa jujim Dungai mebe dewa damba dan mendawa jujim Nyere jadan yedan drave danyo zeme palay ne barayum Simjen damjen deva dan deve jodan demba yujen Dungai dan dungai jen jodan Tabarayuji Dungai mebe dewa dambada menda barayuji Nyere jadan yedanda Ganya zeme bala ne barayuji Zenjen damji Dewa dan deve jodan demba jum Dungai dan dungai jen jodan drawa juji Dungai mebe dewa damba dan menda juji Nyere jadan yedan tanya zeme bar yuji Nyeme domba nyedan denjongi na wagame zonjo yumeze randenam garajede janzebu rejezente benye davedem tembazo mejaja segene sejendo jenzenda bejedem chugazondoje jendroju chayezan jaya leyajim chayanyamja dezelozenam sejeretar sejebabam yejevezerendave gayenja nevezejeneden judrozo padoyazegorajim yogorajim tembazanjezejedanyere Nandrudewa jogi vazavam jagindebe danyijembo urzanyijejembe zedenyimeji Sonemela jembo maja den Mune mune ma manaye sava dembe gole yeje je vazara nazo be nawa jembe dadan semje dan je dreba dan je zaje Tegba jembe lamje yende Tsujin do yede Chirme dobe Sanı baryu Shindu Zawada Tenze Bono Shindu Tenbayi Tenbayi Rene Raji Janjo Zemjo Rinpoche Maye Bono Jinjuraji Yeba Nyamba Mebaya One Gondo Bevarejo Zenjen Damje Dedo Denjuraji Nendo Damje Dado Dombarejo Chanjo Zemba Ganda Sarjoba Eda Gunje Mela Drabarejo Zenandeye Tamje Zebani Done Nyebedana Banjene Yega Najembala Drawai Sibe Zale Drawai Drawarejo.
Short break.